which period do we want to look at and really understand? From a run chart perspective. Number one, we want to figure out why this is out of control because it's above the upper control. Okay? So this is your one lesson in control charts because there are 8 different reasons in a control chart why you investigate a change. Okay? Relative to what your expected mean is or your average, if you see 3 consecutive points that are moving in the same direction, you have a trend in a control chart process, you better start finding out why. So even before I got to here, once I got to here, even though I'm in control, I would start looking at this. I would start saying, why am I inching up every month when census is staying the same? Because in this unit of theory, I'm capped at 20 patients per day. And I've worked hours per patient day of 10, so that gives me my 200. Right? So why am I inching up relative to the same number of patients every day? What's going on? So this is a theory of a run chart or a control chart. We're looking at building needs so that we can kind of help you look for shifts, look at what's absolutely out of control so that you can look at it quickly and so forth. And what I'm going to show you in the end, you can build this very quickly into the worksheet, the Excel worksheet, so that on a daily basis you can look and say, am I in control, out of control? Okay? So that would be a run chart, and the key is the control limit. Does a run chart do us any good if I set an upper control limit of 300? And then I don't investigate anything that's outside of that. Are you ever going to hit 300 on this unit? But realistically, could you hit 220, 230?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And not even be overstaffed, you can do it. So you got to make sure that your limits are set realistically. A good starting point for us is basically our lower and upper control that we have set for our performance standards around productivity. That's 95% and 110 on the upper. Because the problem with being too lean, if I come down here and I start coming down here, and I say down here I'm at 170, what's the problem with that I'd want to investigate? You're using too few hours, you've got too few bodies, are you overworking your people, and do you have safe conditions clinically on the unit? So that's an example of how you can use a control chart. If you're not promptly investigating variances, you have zero control. So let me ask you this, and be honest with me, this is that safe place. Do we really do monthly variance analysis? Are you required as a manager to provide an explanation if something is out of whack? No, I've never. I manage 9 departments, and I've never been asked for that. Now, in my former life, yes. Anything that was 5% or more greater out of whack, I had to provide a written explanation for it as part of variance analysis. I think we kind of got to get there eventually, but we need to, the problem is fundamentally around zero control and not promptly. What's the key word here? Promptly. We get these reports when? 20 days after the end of the month, which is exactly 51 days after the beginning of the month, right? Is there anything we can do? And I'm an old farm guy. Has the horse left the barn at that point? Is the barn door still open? Yeah. Everybody say, hey, Esther.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Kelly had an emergency. I just have to tell you that she said it when I was in the other class. Kelly?
Yes.
That's why she's not here.
Where's she at?
Emergency this early morning, so she couldn't make it.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
How y'all doing?
So you need to, and what I'm going to give you from an hour standpoint, it's harder to do with dollars. But if we control the hours and we understand our labor mixes on a daily basis, we can get pretty close to the dollars too, right? So you got to have a method of control on a routine basis so that you can kind of see and head it off of the past. And we're going to talk about that here at the end. So the basics of variances, let's see what time we got. 10:18? Y'all want to take a 5-minute break? I've been at you for a while. Let's do it.
So essentially what